Okay, so with the conclusion here of 3.3, we are ready for our second test. That test will be on MyMathLab. Now, I am going to put up a homework assignment that will serve also as a practice test. That will be available here shortly. So what is on our test? Well, going back, we began in 2.4, where we looked at doing the derivative. Excuse me. Where we looked at doing the derivative using what your textbook referred to as the four-step process. That was where we had to go through and use that long process with the limit. Alright, so we use this idea. Let me find an example here. Here we did the derivative of x cubed. So we use that limit process. X plus h cubed minus x cubed, right, all over h. And so we evaluated x plus h cubed. Put that in. We have to simplify, cancel out the common factors. So we factor out an h, and then we can take the limit. Or as another example, we did it with 1 over x. Again, I'll go back to your notes. So that's what we're talking about there. Same thing with square root of x. I did it with this polynomial, x squared minus 2x plus 3. Alright, so where we're doing that limit, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So that's what we're looking at there in 2.4. There will be one problem. Okay, there will be one problem for that. Just one question. For that problem, I'm asking once you take the tests through MyMathLab to turn in your work. So for that problem, I need to be able to see your work. I need to see you use that process, that limit process. Okay. All right. Then we moved into 2.5, where we started dealing with some basic derivatives, our basic derivative rules. We moved into 2.5, where we started looking at basic derivative rules. So you can expect some questions like those. So aside from this one question, the very first question on your test, where you have to use that limit process to do the derivative, any other rules that we've developed, you can then make use of those. So you go back and look through 2.5, basic derivative rules. We skipped 2.6, moved into 2.7, where we talked about marginal functions. So you can expect some questions about these marginal functions, marginal cost, marginal profit, marginal revenue. In 3.1, we talked about exponential and logarithmic functions, reviewed what they were. Exponential and logarithmic functions, we reviewed what they were. And particularly, we started looking at some interest problems, and that's what you can kind of focus on out of 3.1, is solving some of those interest problems. In 3.2, that's where we talked about the derivative of e to the x and ln of x. Okay. So remember those rules and be able to use those. And then finally in 3.3, you'll have some questions where you're asked to do the product rule and some questions where you're asked to do the quotient rule. Again, you will find probably by the time this video is available, you will have your practice assignment, practice test that'll be up. Okay, that will be available. So this is Friday, so let's say that'll be available through, let's say, Tuesday. And I'm also going to go ahead and turn on your test 2, which will be available till Wednesday. Okay, now there will be a time constraint since you are kind of doing this at home. There will be a time limit. I think I'm probably going to give you about 2.5 hours. Should be enough time on the test. The homework you can, the practice test you can do as many times as you want. The problems to practice, but the test will be timed, and it's a one-time thing. So make sure you definitely go through the practice test first. Make sure you understand things. If you have any questions, email me, or send me a message through Teams. Ask about it Monday during the class time. Any of those things. Okay, so have a great weekend, and we'll hopefully see you next week.